Hello everyone! Today we are going to present and discuss about project proposal. In this presentation, the following topics are discussed. This includes the elements of the project proposal, types of project proposal, importance of project proposal, how to write the best project proposal, and putting the project proposal together. But first, let us define project proposal. The project proposal is the initial document used to define an internal or external project. The proposal includes sections such as title, start and end dates, objectives and goals, requirements, and a descriptor of the proposed solution. While the actual elements of a project proposal differ depending on the project itself, there are several key elements of a project proposal. This includes project background, objectives, and project scope. For project background, what problems, challenges, or opportunities exist that create a need for this project? For objectives, we have what are the intended outcomes of this project, and for the project scope, what are the steps or stages of the project, what elements are included in this project, and how will the objectives be reached through this project. Types of project proposals. It is worth noting that there are few types of project proposals out there. Let's run through them quickly so you will know which type of project proposal is a fit for you. So here we have formally or informally solicited project proposals. A formally solicited proposal is in response to an RFP, which is Request for Proposal. It is often initiated by project managers. It comes with a pretty specific directions. There's also a high chance that if this proposal is well written, it'll be approved. On the other hand, an informally solicited project proposal is perhaps the trickiest type of project proposal to write. It is the same as the formally solicited proposal, but usually it is requested verbally or via an informal communication challenge. This means that this type of proposal doesn't come with as much context. The writer will need to do a lot of research themselves in order to get someone else's idea approved. It is a tricky one but manageable with the right template. The unsolicited project proposals. So, just because no one asked for a project proposal doesn't mean that they don't want it. Perhaps they don't know they need it yet and you're one step ahead of the game. You'll need to do a lot of work to get this type of proposal approved, but it could be a game changer for your business. An unsolicited proposal came from those aha moments you have in your everyday work. Perhaps you've identified a problem, a solution, or an opportunity but needed resources to build out your idea and get it approved. This is when you turn to an unsolicited project proposal. For continuation project proposals, so this is a type of project proposal that is usually done on a calendar basis when a project enters a new phase or new resources budgets are needed to ensure the continuation of a project. Continuation project proposals are lower lift as the project itself has already been approved and is running. For the renewal project proposal, so it is slightly different from a continuation project proposal. This type of project proposal is for when a project has run its course and needed to start again. The research for this type of proposal usually comes from the success data of the previous project. And lastly, the supplemental project proposal. So this is the last type of project proposals. So have you gone over budget on your project or need more resources than you originally requested? This one's for you. It's not the most positive or of project proposals, but if something is in short supply that you need to complete a previously approved project proposal, then this type of proposal is the one you'll need. Why is a project proposal important? The purpose of a project proposal is to describe services and outcomes from a potential service provider, so decision makers can compare vendors and pick the best provider for their needs. It should be considered a sale document that persuades the decision maker or stakeholder that the prospective provider has the skills and expertise needed to complete the project to their satisfaction. It should also set expectations, detailed budget and timeline, as well as set expectations for what the delivery would look like. One of the most important purposes of a project proposal is to allow decision makers to more objectively compare vendors. With the project proposals, decision makers can compare prices, processes, and project outcomes. If there are prices differentiations, the decision maker can also see what aspects of service may differ to create a difference in price. This detailed information helps decision makers make more informed and objective vendor decisions. Project understanding. A project proposal outlines the purpose and the scope of a project. This is helpful before a project takes place since it ensures both parties agree about what the project itself will include. It states that the decision maker or stakeholder that the service provider understands the scope of the project. This helps establish trust between the parties to facilitate a transactional agreement. Establish credibility. A project proposal should be seen as a sale tool that establishes credibility. It should communicate to the decision maker or stakeholder that the service provider is capable of completing the project and fulfilling expectations. This is done by detailing how the project will be completed. The project proposal may also include potential risk or complications and how the service provider would overcome those challenges. Propose an estimated timeline and budget. A project proposal also proposes a timeline and budget for the project. While this document is not a formal contract, it provides stakeholders enough information about budget, timeline, and outcomes to determine whether or not to move forward with the project, and if so, to make an informed contractor or vendor decision. The fifth one is to set expectations. In addition, a project proposal also sets expectations for the client relationship. This includes having a mutual understanding of deliverables, timelines, and budget. While the other project proposal is not contractual agreement, it does set a preliminary agreement that the details in the project proposal will be put into a contract if the project moves forward. And lastly, inform project planning. Finally, a project proposal also helps to inform project planning. Once the project is approved, this document will be used to finalize timelines and budgets for the contract, as well as to complete resource scheduling. How to write the best project proposal. Whether you're a seasoned pro at writing project proposals or you're about to start writing your first one, there are a few best practices you can use to help make it the best it can be. First step is to understand your triple constraint: time, scope, and cost. Project Management 101, also known as the Project Management Triangle. Know your triple constraint throughout every step of your project and don't be afraid to address them in your proposal. The second step is write for your audience. Your project proposal will resonate a lot better if you know who you're addressing. Know your reader or readers and adjust your formalities and provided information accordingly. Knowing your audience will also help you understand what they already know and what you need to explain in further detail. Step 3 is to use a cover letter or table of contents. Just like a book submission to an editor, no one wants to dive into the unknown. Submit your project proposal with a cover letter. Your cover letter can be something as simple as a few paragraphs via email. This letter, coupled with table of contents, will help set your audience up mentally for what they're about to read. The fourth step is to use 5 W's when explaining. If you're ever in doubt on how to explain something within your project proposal, You can always rely on the 5 W's: what, why, who, where, and when, and how for good measure. By answering these simple questions, you'll be surprised by the information they prompt out of you. The 5th step is to keep it short. Know your limit. You'll have a reader's attention at first, but even the best of writers can only keep that attention for so long. Try to keep your project proposal to 2 pages maximum, with only the appendix running onto the 3rd page. The 6th step is to use a template. Maybe you saw this one coming, maybe you didn't. When in doubt, use a template. Establishing a project proposal template or templates within your organization will help everyone's proposal cover the important bits, as well as the manage expectations for readers. The 7th step is to prove your work. We cannot stress this point enough. Get a second pair of eyes or just rested eyes on your proposal before you submit it. Sure, you're not being graded on your spelling, however, it will help build your trustworthiness and avoid any miscommunication. The 8th step is to reference your points. A good project proposal doesn't shy away from images or other data points to back up what you're saying. Customer testimonials, customer complaints, user analytics, whatever your reasoning is behind your project proposal. Make sure it's coming from informed decisions rather than feelings. You're more likely to get it approved that way. The 9th step is to discuss the core problem and its current state. When discussing the problem you've identified, make sure you cover its current state and why that's failing your business before you offer a solution. By doing so, you allow the reader to see a bigger picture. They can decipher if your project should be a larger priority if the problem is currently damaging the company's reputation. The 10th step is to outline client benefits. No matter what area of business your project focuses on, at some point, your project will benefit your current customers or new clients, whether it's directly affecting them like inclusive pricing or something that will in turn affect them like optimizing an internal process. Be sure to highlight the how and why, no matter how far down the line they will benefit. By doing so, you bring a focus on your customer and greater value to your project. The last step is the deliverables and KPIs. Be strategic when goal setting for your new project. Try to focus on SMART goals to ensure your KPIs cover everything and properly showcase the project's progress. Also state how often you will share a project report. Putting your project proposal together. Successful projects happen because a project team is set up for success from day one, and everything is accounted for. Your next project can greatly benefit from a project proposal that takes into account previous project and the entire project scope. You're not just proposing a project with this template, you're building a project roadmap. This proposal is a project documentation tool for you as much as it is for the prospective client or internal stakeholder. Get as detailed as possible when building out your proposal and then cut the fluff after. Once your proposal gets the green light, then you can succeed to write a project charter or a statement of work for your project. These are our references. And that would be all. Thank you.